Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 125. You can find me online everywhere as Crealien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, the works. And I have a website, colourfulcreativity.nl, where you can shop yarn and extra goodies that I produce. Right, 2 weeks ago already, and I'm feeling it's only been a few days. I don't know where time has gone, but it's definitely flying by like crazy. Even when we're not having fun, still flying by. I have stuff to show you again, and I will start with my Bessie crop test knit that I was doing for Jacqueline Cieslak. And here it is. It is off the needles. We have a hem, we have sleeves, and we have a neckline. The last one you already knew. I'm expecting Binks in a few seconds. Yep. There he is. He can be as annoying as he wants to be. He's poorly. And he gave us quite the scare earlier this week by sneezing blood. It was 7:20 in the morning and Robert was hearing me get up. I had to go pee. I never made it to the toilet that moment because it was, I need help. Binks is sneezing blood. How to start a day? Super stressful. 10 out of 10. Do not repeat it. I only give it 0 stars. We went to the vet. He got antibiotics and fingers crossed that's all he needs. Otherwise we have to go to the animal hospital and he needs to be looked at inside his nose. Let's just hope we don't have to go there. So back to the Bessie crop. I finished it. I am going to go back in though. You know me. I made it cropped. I will show you photos of the photo shoot I did right now. And we had the photo shoot in our garden. It was very lovely. I even noticed that some figs were ripe. And yeah, it was a fun photo shoot. And I know it looks amazing on that dress. It looks amazing on another dress as well. But I found out I am allergic to the yarn. The yarn is Manos de Uruguay Serena, and that is a cotton alpaca blend. And apparently I cannot handle any alpaca here. At least not this one. There's also Suri alpaca that I still have to try. But yeah, it itches, it stings, and it is generally no fun to wear for me here. I still have my fingers crossed that I can use alpaca on my feet. So the sock yarn I have, that I can still use that. Come on. Yeah, very good. But yeah, not for me. So I'm going back in and make it for my mom. She already tried it on before I finished and blocked it. I wanted to show you the gorgeous hem detail. There is a lateral braid, and then this detail, I think it's gorgeous. The sleeves have a gorgeous detail as well. Not sure if you can really see it, but there's some cute little hole details. And this is the detail of the neckline, which I also think is gorgeous. All in all, yeah, it's a great knit. I was very anxious during the knitting and trying it on that it would be very ripply, but blocking made it perfectly smooth. And I didn't even block it aggressively. I tried to make it grow this way and not that way because, well, I don't need that much positive ease, and it already had quite some positive ease. And yeah, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to take out the hem, and then I will make it longer for my mom. She needs about 6-7 more inches of body. And I don't mind knitting it. The yarn, it's not horrible to knit. It's lovely to knit. My hands can handle it. It's just my chest area that can't handle it, and there's no way I'm going to wear it with something underneath that is higher, because I hate something here. So yeah, my mom is lucky. I was lucky before with something else, and now she is lucky with this one. And she is looking forward to getting it. I have no idea when I'm going to do that, but yeah, she'll have something to look forward to. And then a new round of the Super Sock World Championship started. Let me check. It's the 29th, so it's Thursday today. It started on the 20th, so it's no, it started on the 21st, which ended up the 21st in the US, and it was 4 AM in the Netherlands at that time on the 22nd. And I was like, I have to do my test knit, but it was the Belly Button Knits Memorial Round. Belly Button Knits, or BBK, is also known as Adrienne Fong, who is a big time sock designer and well known in the sock competition world. She passed away last year, and yeah, this was the round in honor of her, the memorial round. So I couldn't say no after all. I planned to not do sock competition rounds in the test knit that I was doing, and I was like, yeah, I can't knit the full body and do the socks. So yeah, I ended up doing it cropped for me, and I'll just go back in later for my mom. And I did knit the socks. I managed to do the first sock in 1 day, 1.5 days. I cast on Thursday afternoon, and I cast on the low octane sock. There are different options. You had the high octane sock, which is the difficult sock. You had the low octane sock, which is the easy sock. And since Adrienne was always the single sock person and not someone who would knit pairs, it was also the option to do 2 socks, but one of both patterns, or to only do 1 sock. So I was like, I'm gonna do 1 sock and then I will just be done with it. When I finished in 1.5 days, I was like, when I can do this pattern this quickly, I might even be able to knit a sock in a day. I've never done that before. My fastest was 3 days, where I knit like full time all day long. This was done between household chores. Halfway the day I started. Maybe I can just sit and knit for a day, which I did. So I have here a finished pair of Princess Buttercup and Wesley, or PB&W socks, and it's a special pattern because you can pick what you want. I went for the Princess Buttercup version, which is the lace version. You'll have yarn overs here, and there's also the option to not do a yarn over, but a different kind of increase. And I just wasn't feeling it, so I thought, give me the yarn over so I can do the 64 stitch and still fit on my feet. So here is it, not stretched. These are kind of diamonds, and the minimum requirement was 6.5 diamonds, so I did 2.5 on the leg, and I thought, well, 4 on the foot, but I needed a little bit more, so I have 4.5 on the foot, and made it for the requirements of the competition, which is awesome, because that meant that I scored 5 points this round, because I finished as number 29. Yay me. On the Saturday I cooked dinner. I made lunch by baking buns, and I did some laundry in between. I started at around 10:30 just with the idea I'm gonna cast on and I'm gonna knit it slowly. And somewhere in the afternoon I thought, well, let's just go for it. I want to finish this one, and I finished at around 10:40 p.m. Also because I had a Zoom in the evening for Fluff to Stuff, and so that made my evening longer than usual. And I didn't take a nap, which also gave me a boost that I had some more knitting time. Not taking a nap is not very usual for me, but I had a good day, and good days need to be celebrated, and I celebrated with knitting a sock in a day. The yarn is also helping. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. This is the Crealien design self-striping rainbow clip yarn from March 2021. And you can see on the back all the info for it. And yeah, this is just right up my alley. The socks fit me amazingly well, so I did a very good job in that, and I'm just generally in love with these, and pretty proud of myself for managing a pair of socks in 2.5 days and actually making my best time a lot faster. Not sure if I'm going to do that again. I like my competitions, but I'm not one to go for this crazy idea too often. My hands were dead afterwards in the evening when I went to bed, but my adrenaline was up here, so I couldn't sleep. Robert was already sleeping. He was wiped out from his second shot, so his jab. Yeah, well, what can we say? I had fun that day. Then I have a third thing, and I put it in a plastic bag. I guess I'm gonna take one out. I have made another pair of knitted knockers for a friend, and yeah, he is transitioning, and he wanted a pair of knitted knockers. Well, he asked. He didn't want. He asked very politely if I was able to knit another pair of these, because, well, the other pair didn't really fit him well, and he gave them to a friend in need, and now he found out he actually really liked them, and he didn't really like the chicken fillet fillings, that silicone stuff. So of course I will knit you another pair. He'll be here tonight picking these up, because hey, I cast on last night, darling husband told him, and he wants to pick them as soon as possible. And I totally am happy for someone who is so thrilled with my knitting to have a wonderful pair of oops. Oh yeah, you probably want to know the yarn and the needles I used and stuff, and info and pattern. I used the official Breiboezem pattern. It's a Dutch pattern. It's been translated from Australian, I think, but they're very secretive on it. There is, for those interested, also a pair of knitted knockers. Well, there is a pattern for knitted knockers on knittedknockers.org. There's different patterns. There's crocheted versions, knitted versions, in the round knitted and flat knitted. I used the in the round pattern I got from Breiboezem. Breiboezem is for people who have breast cancer and had a mastectomy and need something softer and something nicer than silicone prosthetics, I guess, because sometimes you have wounds that are not fully healed, or the scarring is itching or whatever, and then something soft is easier than the silicone stuff. And this is machine washable. I used a Catania cotton by Schachenmayr. Hi Binks. Hi. Yes, you is cute. I do not recommend that for people who need it with scarring, because Catania is very, not very soft. You also have other kinds of cotton that are softer, and I would go for some of those. I think Katia has one, and yeah. But since it's not for someone who has scarring, but it is for someone who has just smooth chest, I'm totally fine with using Catania, and he tried it and it worked for him, so that's totally fine. And yes, I'm using him, even though he is going to be female presenting. He told us he would like to be him and he for pronouns until he's actually looking female. Now he's looking male and he is not very comfortable with being called she. So totally fine. Listen to people. I mean, how hard is it? If they ask for it like that, then it's not too difficult. Then I have finished objects for my mom, because it is time to tell you about the socks for West Midlands Ambulance Service, or socks for WMAS by Jeanette, my lovely friend in the UK. My mom has finished another 3 pairs of socks. I just sent a box to Angela. And well, there is a new box in the making. And this one is coffee bean socks, koffieboontjes, a very Dutch pattern. I think it's in a Dutch book. And my mom knit a pair of blue ones, a pair of sparkle silver grey ones. I'm not sure if the sparkle shows up, but there's definitely a nice shimmer in here. And this grey and pink pair with a bit smaller feet. And nice and ribbed cuffs, so it's very stretchy and hopefully will fit someone very well. If you're thinking socks for WMAS, what is that? It is an initiative by Jeanette. She works for the West Midlands Ambulance Service, just like her daughter. And the plan is to have a pair of socks for every member of staff in at Christmas. So they all get a Christmas gift, and that will be a hand knitted pair of socks. And she needs our help. I think the last count was about 80 to 100 pairs of socks, and she needs about 400, so there's only a quarter done. So if you have any socks you have never worn and you're not going to wear because they're just stuck in your gift box or in your drawer, or you can knit socks very quickly and want to join in, or you just want to join in and knit a few pairs of socks or just one pair, Jeanette will be very, very grateful. You can also contact Angela from Yarn and Yarns, where you can buy yarn as donation, and that yarn will go to Charlie of Charlie Buttons Designs and of Cranky Lady. And as Cranky Lady, she cranks sock tubes from sock yarn, which will then go distributed through the UK for heels, cuffs and toes, and will then be sent to Jeanette. It's a whole friend network, and we're trying to help out in this fun initiative. So if you want to join in as well, you can also check out Angela's videos about it. There's a few in her Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel, so check that out if you are interested. Right, I think that was all that was finished on this side from the knitting. So I now will show you my whip. And I have an extra needle, and put it away again. I have here my boy Lollipop top that I knitted 2 years ago, and I'd already told you that I was planning on modifying it. So I now have finished the body. This whole piece of ribbing is now just plain stockinette, and I am adding the contrast color as twisted rib. Here's the contrast color. The main color is a DK with cashmere, super soft DK by Ching Fiber. I don't remember the colorway, and they don't sell this yarn anymore either. It was on sale at Stephen and Penelope, and I basically bought everything. Sorry, that was my foot hitting the tripod. The contrast color is Undercover Otter Squirm in the Jello colorway, nicely blowing up with the light. But hey, this is very accurate, I think. I can't really see because the light is pretty bright, and I keep seeing the ring of in my eyes again. So here it is. I will also put in a photo because I'm not happy with the fit now. As you can see, the ribbing starts exactly at just below my biggest belly point. I always call it my blub. Yeah, it's not the most, I don't want to say flattering because I don't care about flattering. But yeah, it's just not the best spot for me to have it end. I still need about 2 inches of ribbing, and I'm going to continue. I already put up some polls to ask what other people would do and what they think about it. Like frog it or block it and continue and block it. So I'm gonna see if it works if I block it. I have a feeling that by making it longer, it takes the simple, effortless tee idea away. It's more a sweater then, and it misses sleeves. Seriously, misses, you need to go to Lulu now. You really are an animal. So yeah, I'm not sure about this. I will continue, I will finish, I will block, and I will see. I might actually frog it back all the way here. That omits all the decreases I've done. Then I will re-knit it with striping, and then do a short hem. So it's a totally different look. It's also a DK weight, and a DK weight summer top. I don't know about you, but it's really, really warm. So a different option I had in mind is to frog the whole thing and make it a ripple crop top. Also not too cropped, because it's for me and I'm just not that cropped person. But yeah, unsure. We'll finish and see then. This is the only whip I have on the needles at the moment, because I signed up again for another test knit. You can see that big bright light around my head now. I'm a saint. Yeah, I know. I said to myself, no more test knits. Just knit on what you have. You have so many nice whips. You have so many plans. You have so much gorgeous yarn to knit. Yeah, famous last words. Yeah, you okay, miss? Okay. Yeah. It's just a pair of socks. It doesn't have a name yet. It is for Malia Made It and the test group. It's already filled. And I was hoping to be able to knit it with the original yarn, which is Luna Pearl yarns. But getting that yarn to the Netherlands was actually way too expensive. I would pay about €60 a skein. That's no fun. So no, that is because of customs fees, customs, the VAT, and shipping was also pretty expensive. So I decided not to. And the other option there is to knit it with Knit Picks Felici. I already had this yarn ready to go, and well, this is what I'm going to be using for the test knit. The colorway is called Gummy Bear, and I hope we can cast on soon. And the other thing I have to cast on soon, Sunday, the new round of the Super Sock World Championship will start. Yeah. August will be all about socks. There will be 3 pairs of socks from the Super Sock World Championship, and there will be a test knit pair. And I want to make my goddaughter a pair of sneaker socks with the leftover yarn I have from my speed knit socks. I have 35 grams left, so I will grab a mini, because also did some yeah, I do have to check if there's blood on the floor when he sneezes, but there isn't. This will be tight. I asked HiveMind on Instagram if people thought 35 grams would be enough for a pair of sneaker socks in size 36. It probably won't. It depends on my knitting, but I don't want to play yarn chicken, especially not when I made a gorgeous gobstopper ball and I can't just make it into 2 or whatever. So no, that is not going to happen. Yeah, future plans done. Whips done. That done. Then all that there is left is spinning. And I was looking in my box. I still owe you what I did on the last few days of the Tour de Fleece. And I changed my plans to actually finish the 3rd of my combo spin bobbins. Ta-da-da-da! Isn't it nice? I think it's very nice. And so this is number 3. I still have 100 grams to go. Last time I said I didn't touch it, and after the video I was like, oh, I don't have anything going. I can start something new, but I don't know how. With that rainbow braid. I have started that rainbow braid, but not after. No, I started this earlier actually. And I thought I was gonna do this on the finish day. And then I was like, nah, I wanna treadle. I wanna do treadling instead of just bangs. Not okay. They are running wild. So here is the rainbow on my wheel. I have spun from purple to orange, and I'm now on the way back for red and pink, and then we'll see what happens. I split the braid in 2, and then I split the braid lengthwise in 2. I am going for a 3-ply after all, a chain ply, because it turned out it was superwash merino and nylon. I had documented that in my stash in Ravelry, what it was. So if I had looked there, I didn't have to do all that crazy thinking. It's perfect sock yarn, so I'm going to make a self-striping sock yarn out of it. Ta-da! Very easy. And then on Sunday I was like, oh, I want to spin on that. But in the end I felt more like treadling, like I said. And I finished this one. So I did finish 50% of that goal. What did you do with your nose again? Were you sniffing? Did you have to sniff everywhere? He is now sniffing the ground. Seriously. Who needs a vacuum cleaner if they have a Binks? So, then we are at acquisitions. I'm looking at a naughty lady. see her. My clock is right there for how long the episode is. So I had to really look carefully because yeah, that's in the way of Miss Leia. During Tour de Vlies, I joined a few teams to spin with. I joined the electric eel wheel team because I spent quite a lot on my electric eel wheel after replacing the motor of my Nano. I am in love with the wheel. So if you don't have a 1.1 Nano motor and you're like, I hate this wheel, maybe look if you can invest in the new motor. It makes such a difference. I haven't had any stopping anymore. I could just spin for 30 minutes or an hour. It didn't matter. It was great. Much more speed. I didn't go full out, so perfect for me. I also joined the Dutch Wool Diva team. I joined the Weaponized Mango team from the LSG group. I spun together with everyone at the Passionate Spinner, who had a Discord server for it, especially, and a lot on Patreon. I already told you about that last time. And yeah, then it was time for prizes, and I didn't do prizes for every team. Okay, very quickly I already got a message with congratulations, you're a winner, and I won this bag of Shetland, which I will take out because it's way too shiny with the light. So 3 natural colors of brown, a very dark one, a medium one, and a grayish one. Absolutely gorgeous. And a big one of white. And I think I'm gonna leave it as is. Well, not the fiber as is. I'm gonna spin it, but I'm not gonna dye it. I really like the combination, and I think it will make for a perfect colorwork project. Maybe a hat or some mittens or something. I'm not going to say immediately go for a sweater because 200 grams of Shetland doesn't give me a sweater. But for a hat project, it will be amazing. And I'm trying to make my spinning more project focused instead of just spinning for the yarn and not knowing what it's going to be. So yeah, I hope I can manage to make that something that goes together. So all the yarn the same thickness, and yeah, I'm not gonna look into a pattern up front because I already know that the thickness of the yarn will be totally different then. I can look for a DK weight and then I have a worsted or Aran or whatever. So yeah, that's just afterwards, but I think it's nice to have a bit of an idea. I'm looking around, trying to see what else I have to tell you, and I can see 2 very big bags of work. Work. So, we are going to talk about the shop, because I have news. Today is the 29th, and if I can manage, there will be a shop update on August 1st. So this Sunday, and you are hearing it first here. This episode's probably gonna go up tomorrow, but yeah. I have here 2 very big bags with lots of color in it. This is the new based hemp sock, which is 80% wool and 20% hemp, virgin wool, superwash. And as you can see, I made a lot of semi-solid colors because I like this yarn a lot for cabling. You may have seen that pair of socks that mint green that I combined with some pinks and purplish yarn minis a few episodes ago. That was the first round of the Super Sock World Championship. I will put in a photo here so you can really see it. That is this minty color. I also have the new color, Refreshing, which is mint with speckles. We have Glow Stick, we have Clementine, we have Tabadi, we have Purple, lots of art. Here is Pickle Juice, Hello Yellow, Fuchsia, Mermaid's Tail, Brighten Up Your Day, and a different kind of rainbow. I am currently dyeing No Rainbows Without Rain because no yarn base introduction or sock yarn base can be without No Rainbows Without Rain. I have Bright Eyes, which is an aqua drying, and I have Koi Pond drying. From all the colors, they're very limited because I could only buy a very limited amount of yarn. It was a limited edition at my supplier, so like I'd rather have more colors to cater for more people, because it's not a base where I would say I'd wear it as a garment. So I'm guessing it will be very much of single sock yarns, maybe 2 skeins of sock yarn to combine them, like the Brighten Up Your Day with a Clementine or a Glow Stick. But yeah, that was my idea behind dyeing the whole lot, and I hope you like it. It is plastic-free sock yarn, so no nylon in it, just hemp. I have been wearing them, they're very comfortable. I haven't been wearing them enough to see if I can wear through them, but I generally don't wear through my socks very quickly, so I'm very hopeful with these. I knit them on a needle size smaller than my usual, because the yarn is a bit thinner, so you want to go down, so you have a good solid, at least for the sole of the foot, a good solid sole. I mean, if it's very, very tight knit, you can do anything with it. It's basically bulletproof, or at least that's my experience with every base, except 100% merino. So yeah, that was shop news. So if anyone isn't interested in anything personal, I'm totally okay with that, and I will see you again next time. And for those who do want a bit of a personal update, hi Binks, yeah, mental support kitty, that's nice, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. I went to see my allergist last week. I had a horrible week last week. I got my period, I got migraines, and I had to go and visit doctors. So I went to see my allergist. I had a very early appointment, or for me it's very early, at 9:40 in a different city, and I wasn't gonna move that because his agenda was full, like 2.5 months ahead. So I was like, I'll take it, I don't care. He already had 35 minutes of running late at 9:40 a.m. Really? Yeah. But he's so worth it. I had my knitting with me, and I was totally fine. He took his time for me. We had 45 minutes together. I think the appointment was only 30, but I don't know. I don't care. He gave me 45 minutes. And he listened very carefully and very well, and I have meds, and I have a referral to a different hospital all the way in Groningen, which is like 2 hours driving from here, which is fine. I was there 16 years ago for the same tests. Those came out inconclusive, and I have to do them again, probably, including the bone marrow puncture, which sucks. But I hear that, when I hear that, and if I have to, I'll do it again. It hurts a lot, but it's just temporary. And hopefully if they find something, they can help me. Like I said, the doctor was listening very well. I've been having bowel issues, I think. That's the best translation. For 8 years probably now. And he actually said the word crippling bowel issues. So, or intestinal issues. And yeah, basically that's true. I make it smaller always, but it isn't. I can't leave the house before 10, 11 a.m. because I have to go to the toilet that many times. It's a lot of TMI. Sorry, I should have put a warning in here, but hey ho. Yeah. That's very exhausting. That's why I'm exhausted all the time. In the past months, it got worse. So, where I would have some good days and some bad days, I would have only have lots and lots of bad days and maybe 1 or 2 good days in a month. And that's not enough to get over the exhaustion. So he was like, when I was almost leaving, he was like, did you try these meds? No, I've never heard of them. Or actually, I did read about them that morning, coincidentally. But I was like, no, I haven't. He subscribed them to me. Try it. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, you can just stop it after a few days. Because the side effects will be worse than the effects of the drug we want. And if it works, I hope you get some quality of life back. We can always try. It's a drink in tiny little bottles. It's super gross. It's salty and bitter at the same time. And I'm horrible at taking little drinks. I have a huge trauma from my childhood. I'd rather take pills than anything else, but this only comes in liquid form. So fine. By now, a week in, I'm used to it and it's fine. I have to do it 4 times a day, so it's very quickly. It works. So I've had an amazing weekend. It worked. The first day wasn't funny, but the second day was already totally fine. So I had an amazing weekend. I could knit a sock in a day and I could do all kinds of stuff. I even dyed yarn in between stuff and household chores and cleaned up everything and cooked and baked bread and everything in a weekend. Didn't need to take a nap. I was like, what the hell is this? And Robert was super exhausted from that second jab. So it was like, now I'm feeling fine and you are feeling like shit. What is going on here? So yeah, I'm going to be tested for mast cell activation syndrome or mastocytosis. 2 different things but related. That's where the histamine intolerance also plays along, and that I still need to stick to my diet. It's just I have a tiny bit more leeway of something that wasn't quite right, giving me immediate issues or just, oh, the meds take care of that. There's probably still plenty of stuff that I can't handle, but that's something else to figure out. For now, I'm happy that it is a bit more relaxed. I have a bit more energy and I can finally get back to work. So a dye day like today, dyeing 20 skeins of No Rainbows Without Rain was totally not possible the past months. I was just too exhausted and my body just didn't want to work that long. No Rainbows Without Rain is a colorway where I have to stand a long time. Every bit of color is put on there by hand. It's a very time consuming process and some bases take even more time. Like soft sock takes about 15 minutes per skein, whereas a different base is like 5 to 10 minutes. It saves a lot of time not doing it on soft sock, but hey, I didn't have to do it on soft sock today, but a different base as a custom order, and that was even worse. So hey ho, I'm happy that my other base was definitely a lot better, and I had fun with it, and I could feel that it was working, and I can also record a podcast afterwards, which is crazy for me. I could only do one thing a day, one small thing, have a nap, and then maybe even cook dinner and have a tiny bit of evening, usually just sitting and knitting, watching TV. But yeah, things are different now, and I am hopeful again that there will be quality of life again, and I can even maybe go on vacation with Robert this year. So very much looking forward to that. Not sure when I'm gonna go to the other hospital in Groningen. We will see that. And until then, I'm just very much hoping that the meds will do the work. They didn't work on Tuesday when this mister stressed me out. So stress is still a huge factor on my issue, which is also known for histamine intolerance. That stress is like throwing in a bomb of histamine. Yeah. This mister is doing well on his antibiotics. He doesn't seem to have any issues at all. So fingers crossed that will stay the same. Fingers crossed that I will stay this cheerful, happy, and a bit more healthy feeling, at least, myself. And yeah, I guess with that, I've been rambling about my personal issues with way too much info. But yeah, I thought it would be fair to tell you that. And since you are all so kind and lovely and supporting me and sending me lovely messages, I thought I would share that. And I will hopefully see you again next time in hopefully 2 weeks. Bye bye.